Hello everybody, it's Darkslayer from DOxDarkslayerTV, bringing you some more Dark Onyx StarCraft 2 ladder matches. This is from Wings of Liberty. I have not moved over to Heart of the Swarm yet, as many of our players are still trying out and playing Wings of Liberty. But man, I had a break from casting and I am back, and let's hope this doesn't all go to hell. Oh man, spawning up here at the top right on Daybreak, we have Dark Onyx's very own Horizon. Also known as Praetorian, if you've ever seen me cast Praetorian. This is him with a paid name change. Actually, I think he used the free name change because I don't believe StarCraft 2 has paid name changes yet. However, spawning down here at the bottom left of Daybreak, we have Ickys. Oh, I love zooming in and spinning like that. It just adds so much unneeded cliche to the whole introducing of the players. Oh man, neither player is scouting on the 9 pylon. I'm just throwing that out there. I totally do, but that's just me. It's not a big deal. You can get a better economic lead in a PvP if you do decide to not scout on that 9 pylon and instead go for that 13 gateway, then scout. But Ickys a little bit freaked out. Gonna go ahead and send that probe way over here to check for pylons and then back up. Maybe getting proxy 2 gated on this map or something crazy, and he just doesn't want it to happen again. Which is completely understandable. Even Horizon doing a quick scope of his natural. Very smart from both players to do that, as cheese is very common in PvP scenarios. And look at this scouting. It's absolutely absurd. Like, I don't even do this. Man, maybe I should. Maybe I should stop being such a scrub and start scouting like Horizon and Ickys here. However, this is Daybreak, and in most PvP scenarios on Daybreak, you are going to see more of the macro Colossus War than anything else. This is a good map for Phoenix, however, as it is a large map, and Phoenix are very, very fast, which means you can do all kinds of harassment. You see the Protoss army move out, make it about halfway across the map, and bam, your Phoenix are back in their base. They're out of position. All kinds of damage can be done. And if they decide to push you anyways, Phoenix are the fastest thing in the world, can fly straight back to your base. So we could really see anything coming out from Horizon and Ickys at this point in the game. And wow, Horizon building that first Zealot before grabbing the Cybernetics core. I don't know if that was a mistake or he meant to do that. However, it is a much better idea to get that Cybernetics core up as quickly as possible. It does put you 100 minerals behind, and as you can see, the Cybernetics core is already finished for Ickys, and the Warp Gate technology is already on the way. So if he was to Chrono Boost into that Warp Gate, he would take a humongous lead against Horizon and could do some serious damage if he decided to push. Excuse me. And now the Stalker is going to come down here and start poking around, checking for proxy pylons. You should always do that as a Protoss player. Run around, see if you can't find any proxies. Your Stalkers are very mobile, good for scouting, checking things, grabbing the Xel'Naga, for instance. Oh man, and we do have the quick robo-tech coming in here for Ickys, and so we will be seeing a very, very slow standard play here from Ickys, unless we see some kind of Twilight Council go down, in which case we would see a super quick blink, which, you know, on this map is alright, but you've only got one entrance to blink in, and then after that, like, the chokes, they're not that great for blink play, so it wouldn't, I just don't expect either player to really go blink. And looking at Horizon, he is pumping all those Chrono Boost into units right now. I almost feel like he wants to get all kinds of aggressive, as he does have 2 gateways down, and he is going to start moving in a very aggressive stance here. Horizon going to make his way across the map. However, Ickys does scout it, so will Ickys be able to get a defense up in time to be able to deal with this? He did go Observer first, and he's now going to get that Immortal out as quickly as possible. He does have Chrono Boost. I'd like to see a Chrono Boost go into that Warp Gate technology, have a Chrono Boost go straight into this robotics facility, get that Immortal out, get that Warp Gate finished so he can get that first warp cycle going before all these units can arrive. However, Ickys is not looking very good. He does have a sentry on the field, however, but it is only one force field unless he can get more sentries out on the map, and Horizon even going to go ahead and expand behind this. This is an excellent play here by Horizon. Here we go. The Zealot's going to make its way up the ramp here, and the force field isn't going down. However, the Immortal is now out, and it's going to make it very difficult for Horizon to push this ramp without more Zealots. The Stalkers are going to melt rather fast, and we get to see what his first warp cycle is going to be in just a few seconds, and he does decide to go with the Stalkers. And here we go. We're going to run straight up this ramp. However, force field does cut one of those Stalkers off. A very well-placed force field, giving the advantage to Ickys just a little bit more. The Immortal already given him such a good advantage, and he does have the high ground vision. And Horizon almost needs to back off right now. I don't think he should push this ramp because it'll just cause him further problems than actually being able to kill him. And he does decide to back up, as he knew he was not going to be able to push that ramp. But the expansion now going to go ahead and go down here for Horizon. So Horizon with a huge lead on the expansion, and a Twilight Council down as well. So we will be seeing Blink play, maybe DTs. You know, and Blink is very good in the PvP matchup, so I'm not surprised at all to see that he would go for the Twilight Council. And there it is. Blink is now making its way onto the map, because Blink... Whenever you're microing your Stalkers, you can snipe Colossus, you can avoid damage, and it lets you proc and prod with your Stalkers without actually taking too much damage from your opponent. And the expansion just now coming up here for Ickys, and Horizon already mining off of his expansion. His main is pretty much fully saturated. He could have used a couple extra probes there, but nothing too major. And 5 gateways now for Horizon. Gonna have 5 Stalkers per warp-in cycle. Ickys, however, with the robotics facility advantage, and he does now have the robotics bay down, so he will have the Colossus count and the Immortal count. So Horizon, if he's going to do any kind of crazy pressure, is going to need a lot of Stalkers to make this work. And as you can see, he's wanting to get fully aggressive once again. This is a huge gateway army, but with the support of those Immortals, it's going to be hard for Horizon to crack this army. But with excellent Blink Micro, we never know what we could see. Getting excited, guys. I'm on the edge of my seat to see what's going to happen here, because this could go either way. In PvP, when you make a push like this, and there's sentries on the field and Immortals, this can get pretty all in for both players. Like, there is only one major engagement in PvP, and I feel like it's coming. I feel like this is going to be it. You know, I say that, and he backs up. But a huge warp and a Stalkers, and Blink is finished, so we are going to be seeing a big Blink push. Colossus now making its way on the field, but I don't know if it's going to be able to join the battle in time. The Observer is following this, so he is aware of it, and here we go. A nice force field catches 2 of those Stalkers off guard. However, a nice Blink there right at the end does keep that one Stalker alive with 7 HP. And going to go ahead and kill these rocks. He knows he can't go up that small choke with the sentries there. And Ickys wanting to go ahead and engage. I don't know if this is a good idea for him. He should have just stayed on the top of the ramp with a good concave. And now, with that Blink Micro, going to warp over here and go ahead and get that Immortal. The Immortal count is already down to 2, and the Gateway Army is in Horizon's favor. However, there is a Colossus now on the field, and there's no concave from Ickys. He did stack back up. He needed to do a concave and some Zealots from the left-hand side. A Blink forward does go straight for the Colossus. Will it live? It does try to get pulled back and up to the ramp, and it does die. And now it's just looking like it's so heavily in Horizon's favor. 69 supply to 59. However, warping by Ickys does even it up at Horizon with another warp in. And wow, says Ickys. He says, "You're lucky." Ickys not liking it right now, as that Blink play hit at a very good timing. And he says, "My unit simply decided to ignore my attack command and moved instead." But excellent timing there by Horizon. He did get those extra gateways up. The natural expansion did let him support the extra gateways. And he attacked right before there was a good timing on the Colossus. A few more minutes would have given him a couple more Colossus, a couple more Warpins, and Blink would have been not quite as effective. Nice timing there by Horizon, and I'll see you guys next time.